Okay, welcome to our video where we basically we're going to talk about the open source movement. We made a little tinkering to explain the globalized aspects of open source movement. First of all, we would like to explain what open source is. And here we have a mobile phone with an and there will be light with an operating system. This is a Samsung phone. Does not have a open source system, but it's a good example of when it comes to explaining what open source is all about. It's about open software. For every piece of software you use in your everyday, it has what is called a source code. It is basically what lies underneath what you see. It's the mathematics behind the program. Now, often big companies would like to keep this source code for themselves, but the open source movement is all about the opposite, sharing the source code, which gives everyone the possibility to change it and even improve it. So that would be the first joker, and the first globalized aspect of open source is that first of all, it's free, and it's for everyone to mingle with. Everyone can contribute with something for the source code, basically, which make the point of the other joker. It's in the open source world has the function of being a agitator of the free trade of knowledge, because with free software comes possibilities for those without the needs to buy, let's say, Microsoft software. So it makes the possibility of cross-country trade of knowledge. This is almost an Habermasian approach. This is the third joker, because the best coding has the strongest argument, and some would argue that Jürgen Habermas's approach to the public sphere, where the strongest argument will always win, is utopian. But the open source movement has proven that this is not true. The best coding will always win. And this is it could be seen as the first real open movement. It is an anti-monopolistic movement, and symbolized by the king here. There's not the focus on one company, like, for example, Microsoft or Apple, as we see it here. There is the focus on the user, and what the user can get from the company, and not what the company can get from the user. Not one version of the software is available, but millions of versions and possibilities for setups. And that is what the Mac here is all about. Or the Mac is symbolizing the closed software, such as Apple and Microsoft, because the company does not want you to change their software. Actually, it's straight up illegal, so you will get sued if you try to. And they hide their source code, because when the source code is open, it's not possible to make money, or that's what they think. Now the sponge symbolizes what open source is really about. That software should not be about constrainment, but about expression and exploration. Software should be yours to fold or to do with what you want. And that's a great thing. You can make your personal edition of the software, like this. This is my open source sponge. Everything is free to be changed. Now, this may all be quite superficial and hard to understand, but let's have some examples. The best browser on a computer today is Firefox. Now, Firefox, this is a Microsoft computer, by the way. Firefox is open source. It's free, and you can do whatever you want with it. With the source code, anyway, not with the actual browser. So Firefox is one good product that works. Another one is this. Actually, this is a pirate version of Microsoft Office. But you get the point when I bring this in. The Open Office. It's free Office, which gives people without the needs possibility to start firms and write books, do math, do PowerPoints, but without paying, and therefore it's free and open. Now, as you all seen, maybe seen on Dennis's computer, he has a very weird looking Windows. That's because it's basically not Windows. Now, Dennis's computer runs Linux, which is a free operating system like my Windows, which I paid 1,000 crowns for, and it's still crap. But Linux is free, and you can change it any way you want. Another good example of the open source products and movements is this actual film. It's filmed on an Android mobile, which is the sort of open source movement when it comes to mobile phones. Now, what will the future from the kings, the big corporations, be? It may be a softer king, a queen, sorry for the ladies, because the open source could be seen as the new CSR platform for the IT giants like Microsoft, like Apple. Apple will never be open source, but Microsoft, Intel, AMD, all the big sources, because there's a tendency that says that open source is the right thing to do. So on a global scale, we will see more open software, which will become more free. Now, that was our tinkering of open software movement. So, great. Hope you enjoyed.